What is up, everybody? We are live, as is Noah's his customary greeting for the world for our podcast. We're here. We're here with Around the Hoot. We have actually finally decided on the name. Noah is very happy about it because it was his idea. But it's a good name. I like it. And we're here to talk Overwatch League. We got the first week out of the way. It was as glorious as we thought it was going to be. It was great to see. I don't think anything really happened that was super unexpected, save for the Dallas field. Save for the Dallas field. But for the most part, everything else kind of went according to plan. But before we get deep into it, let's introduce everybody that we've got here. So let's just go counterclockwise from there. So it looks like Travis, and then we'll go around from there.
I'm Travis Elliott, otherwise known as Rafi Dota. I usually do Dota stuff, branching out into Overwatch League, and I lost a bet last week.
Who'd you lose that bet to?
Yeah, so who's the next person that we're going to introduce over here?
Introducing Lord Noah.
Yeah! What's up, guys? My name is Noah. You don't have to call me Lord. Only Travis has to call me Lord. I'm Noah Walter, Overwatch podcaster guy, Overwatch guy. You know who I am. How you doing?
I'm Liam Maximoy Crafty. Recently started off with eGamerNews, and I'm a Masters player.
Hardstuck Masters garbage. Let's go.
Hi, Masters. Thanks.
Hi, Masters. Let's go.
Mercy one trick, by the way.
Oh, wow. Those are fighting words right there. But yeah, so week one of stage one is in the books. And we made some picks. I think Travis, you have some data.
I do. Eventually, I will. I'm gonna put them in a Google Doc so that we can keep track.
They're just in your trusty little notebook now. It's cool.
I did. We actually,
Hell yeah.
The four of us came in a slow progression, meaning that the next person was just one win-loss above the next person. So
of course.
With my spicy picks, I came in dead last at 8-4.
Let's go!
So 50-50, I'm okay with it. Coming in above me is Wyatt at 9-3, and then Noah at 10-2, and then
Who?
Lord Noah
Thank you.
at 10-2, and then Christian at 11-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not here to claim his week one crown.
Afraid to defend his crown. Bitch.
We'll let him get his picks in for next week.
Liam will get the Burger King paper crown.
Which one did he get wrong? What was the one that
his only incorrect pick was
Dallas
that everyone got wrong was Dallas, LA.
Did I not say Philly would win?
Let's see.
Where did I fuck up?
You picked Houston over Philadelphia.
I said my heart said Philly. Why did my mouth not say Philly? That's
I believe last week you said those exact same words where my heart says Philly, but
So Noah is definitely predictable.
the face when my heart and my mouth are talking to each other.
I think the only other person who picked incorrectly versus the entire rest of the group besides myself was Wyatt. He picked China over San Francisco. I picked plenty of. I picked against the group plenty, hence my 8-4 record.
Hey, you'll get the hang of it eventually.
But hey, that was week one.
Can we take a minute to appreciate how much of a success week one was? I am sure the numbers went down in terms of viewing for after day one, but given 4 days of action, and considering there's CWL, AGDQ going on, there was so much shit going on.
The Boston Major was going on with Counter-Strike that had 500,000 viewers every.
And NFL playoffs,
yeah,
and all this shit, and Overwatch League stood strong. So
it was always above 100K from when I saw it. It was
consistently above 150 from what I saw.
Yeah, and especially with I think what was it? Thursday night or Friday night, it went till midnight Eastern or something like that. So it was going late, and like you said, in AGDQ, that was consistently at 140 for a week, for literally a week straight. So
Rip
I think-
HDQ.
Yeah.
It
Did
was
you guys
fun.
hear about the Chinese viewers, or including the Chinese viewers, how much it was?
How much? Like opening day was over 400K, right?
Yeah, total for the entire thing was, on average, including Chinese viewers, was 72,260 viewers.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ, let's go.
I mean, those are big numbers. I mean, like ESPN said.
How many do you think it's gonna be this week when all the Chinese viewers realize, oh shit, our team sucks dick?
Yeah, I feel like they'll still watch.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, this week is
I hope
definitely
they do.
going to be more of a test, just because you've got conference finals for NFL. I think NALCS is starting up, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and
but
the
like
EU
that's
also
that's
starting to roll.
garbage. Yeah.
Sure. We should have. Well, okay. There was supposed to be a Dota 2 major, but we won't get into that.
Yeah. Apparently, everybody decided. Apparently not. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Philippines sucks.
Dota boys. Let's talk about some of these matchups, though.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I mean, I think we should probably start with not necessarily a matchup, but a team. The Dallas Fuel. What happened last week? I think we all picked them except for Travis. We all picked them to lose to Soul Dynasty, but we all picked them to win against the Valiant, and they ended up getting 3-0. So, I mean, I don't know who wants to start, but just like, what happened? What do you think is going to happen? Do they suck?
I'll throw it out there just because I said it in not my recap notes, but my the power ranking notes. Honestly, Dallas had the impossible task of opening the season against Seoul. And honestly, I don't think they took any time during that week except for the day after the loss to start preparing for the Valiant. I really do. Like, that seems like a pretty standard thing. Like, it's a pretty common thing that happens in sports, is sometimes your players are looking ahead to the big game. Sometimes they overlook another opponent because they've got something bigger in front of them. And honestly, I know that at least some of the players, I'm not going to go and name names, on the Dallas Fuel are really emotional players. And so you could almost consider this a post-loss hangover for some of them.
Why can't you call them out?
I mean, fine. XQC is a really emotional player.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
He didn't
think
play
the
against the
problem
Valiant,
is
though.
he did not play against the Valiant, but I'm saying that I think that overall that's going to drag down team morale. It's not like you're not around this heap of sadness, and that's going to affect you.
Didn't he play on the bunny? I thought I remember his monkey when soon back up, but that's just me.
Maybe.
Find out real quick.
Let's see.
I think.
Yeah, he did.
While
He
we're
did,
talking
yeah.
about
He did play
XQC, I want to discuss kind of what Effect was talking about on the stream.
Mhm.
And because Effect is a grinder, right? And Effect is their start. He's the best player on the Dallas Fuel. Any disagreement from the group real quick before I continue on that point? No? Okay, cool. So, to me, Effect is the kind of guy who doesn't fuck around, right? Effect is about the game. That's what he thinks about. That's what he lives for.
Yep.
On his stream, he recently said, I think the problem right now is our tank line is not communicating with me necessarily. And he said it in such a way where some people are like, you shouldn't flame your team. But realistically, if Effect wanted to flame people, he would just flame people. But this doesn't sound like flame. This just sounds like this is what needs to happen. It's very pragmatic, right? And personally, I agree. Within this group, we were talking about with it like at work, we were talking about it. And during the fuel match, I said, has Mickey /XQC /Coco done anything? Like, Mickey was invisible throughout both series, I think.
Yeah.
Which is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Their front line is not on the same page. Simple. It's like straightforward. and when you look at it, like, I think their best tank player of the week was Timey and Roadhog.
Yep.
And like,
Yes.
Timey's not your best tank player. If Timey's your best tank player,
You have
there's a problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a problem. So for me, I think the DPS showed up. Timey fucking did his best. I'm really proud of how Timey did, considering he's such a volatile player, such a mercurial player. He played lights out on the characters he was asked to play. Effect did what he could. Obviously, we didn't get to see the Tracer as much, but as he explained, Tracer only works when you have a lot of team cohesion, and if not, then I have to go for something else to try and make picks and try and make plays for my team to stay afloat. So here's what I'm thinking the Dallas Field problem is. It's their front line, right? And once their front line gets on the same page, then everything else will fall into place, because I don't believe this team is inherently bad. I think and they showed in their match against Seoul Dynasty that they have interesting strats in order to win certain maps with certain like lineups, right?
Mm-hmm.
If anything, the series against the LA Valiant, that first Junkertown map, where it went 8-7, is really indicative of how this team is going right now. Because like an 8-7 score line shows that both teams were not good. That's not a good score,
Right?
Well, yeah, because on both sides, it was either like there was no defense, or it was just like literally all offense. They were capping points in like 30 seconds. You know, they were moving it super fast.
And Dallas had a bigger time bank after the first round of regulation play. After the first round, of offense defense, they had more time in the time bank. So they somehow managed to roll even harder than LA rolled them, but like they just couldn't keep it together. Yeah. So I think once they figure out that, and then once they patch that hole, they should be good to go. But until then, it's going to be rough sailing.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Yeah. Liam, you're a tank. Anything else you want to throw out about the tank performances you saw?
I mean, it's just really, I could see being really frustrated as both the tank and non-tank, because it definitely seemed like they were going in two opposite directions when a fight started, which was really worrisome that I couldn't pinpoint where they were trying to go. And the tank should be indicating where the team is trying to do, what they're trying to capture or achieve, and that definitely wasn't shown at all. So I agree that that's their main issue. I don't know how well they'll be able to turn that around quickly, though. I think it'll have to take time, and the tank's going to work with each other.
I don't think it'll take as much time, because on XQC's stream the other day, like in response to people being like, I can't believe like that Effect would flame your team like that, and he was just kind of like, he wants everything more than anybody else on this team. Like, he works harder than literally everybody else on this team combined. He was like, as soon as we lost, he got all of us together and was like, okay, come on, we're going to practice, and this is what we're going to practice.
Yeah, and then they duo-queued later that day. He was just like, this is a problem. I've identified it. Let's go. And then XQC is like, okay, Gosu. And then they do it together.
Exactly.
I can't wait until Effecta and XQC are on the same page. Could you imagine how, like, that hyper-aggression? Like, how do you don't live in that dive? Like, it's timing with Widow over the top, and then affect Mickey XQC diving her ass. You're dead. Like, everybody's dead. Everybody's fucking dead. Like,
on a Discord, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, like once they get themselves back together, like they have so much potential, and they can certainly be like that top 2, top 3 team that we thought they were going to be going into the season. But we'll see how long it takes.
I think that we should at least a little bit break into our own power rankings as we kind of talk more. It'll kind of help us flesh out some more games that aren't really worthy of being talked about on their own.
Oh boy.
From this past week, just because the one thing that I'm kind of dying to bring up is, I think in our power rankings, I don't have like the document pulled up. So Houston Outlaws averaged out for us at 6. And then you kind of look at what happened this weekend, and we kind of have a lot to talk about in regards to, is Houston worse than we think they are, or is it that we weren't expecting Philadelphia to be good?
I expected Philadelphia to be good. I also expected Houston to struggle. I think they had the best preseason showing by far, going up against 2 of the arguably top 4 teams in the world and coming out with close losses. But this first week of play really highlighted their problems. Clockwork is not an OWL tracer. Any thoughts on that?
No disputes.
Yeah. And granted, he went up against Pine and Carpe, which is pretty rough. And say Dolby, to be fair.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly he had an easy time in his first week. But okay, you don't have a tracer to rely on. Jake is a Junkrat 1 trick at the moment. Kind of unfortunate. Their tank line is not performing well. Cool Matt was really hyped up coming into this, so was Muma. I'm yet to be, and they kind of they did some stuff, but I wasn't too impressed. I don't know why I should be hyped about Raucus. I'm at this point I'm upset when people are like, oh, look at Raucus. I'm like, why am I looking at Raucus? He doesn't do shit. I'm upset. I get visibly upset. And then they're like, oh, Bonnie is the problem with his points. And Bonnie's a fucking baller. But Raucus is, for some reason, the one who is not on Mercy duty. Like, how about this? You put your best support, Bonnie, on stuff that's not Mercy, and you put Raucus, who dies and won't shut the fuck up, and you put him in Mercy jail. But alas, what do I know? So, my problem with Houston right now isn't necessarily that they don't have a Tracer, even though that's their number one criticism right now. My problem is that I am terribly unimpressed with everybody who's not named Linkser. And I think Linkser deserves better.
So, I really do, in terms of, like, I know this isn't the way that you're supposed to do power rankings, because at number 6, like, just looking at the results, like, Houston probably doesn't deserve that average number 6 spot from us, but, and Optic is not in the business of losing.
Well, we had Houston at 9 after week 1.
I had them like lowest.
We had them they were at 6 before week 1.
Our preseason rankings. Yeah, that's our preseason rankings.
No, this is week 1. We have the Houston Outlaws at number 6. I'm looking at it right now.
Are you looking at January 15th?
Go to E. Somebody put the link in chat so people can follow along.
I'll put the link in chat. Oh no, I see it now. Thank you, Wyatt.
Wow. The face when
that's a little bit better.
The face when Peasant Travis doesn't know how our website works.
Yeah, for real. Well, I typed it into Google hoping it would find it, but apparently we're not that good at search engine.
Hell no,
management.
We're garbage. There you go. I like that chat.
That feels a little better. I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, these don't have our little blurbs under it.
There it is. Okay, so our updated power rankings show how collectively as a group we feel about each of the teams. Is there anything about our list that you'd like to dispute? Because so far we've just been talking about like lists and stuff, which is like fun. But we got a lot of games this week that are going to be pretty interesting.
So,
get into those.
I mean, this week, obviously, that I try to be as unbiased as possible going into power rankings. I try to look strictly at results, how teams played in this particular week. So going into next week, who is the team to beat? Obviously, there's no disputing Seoul is number 1. If Fleta plays even half as well as he's been playing, he's the MVP candidate for season 1. Like, he wins. Because he literally held Dynasty up on his own while they were busy trying to play who can play with who on this roster against the Gladiators. And Fleta was like, don't worry, I got this. I'll just carry this game. I mean, at going week to week, while, like, overall, I don't think that the Valiant deserve a number 3 spot, they definitely deserved it for this week. Because I think that a lot of people, shot Valiant straight up to 1 and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it was a huge upset over Dallas.
Wait until LA plays both of the Korean, until they play 2 Korean teams this week. Then they're going to come back.
I was going to say, be the real test for
this is the toughest week I have seen. This is the toughest week in OWL history.
This is
no hyperbole.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is this week is going to prove whether or not they deserve to be up there like that. Because my only problem with this ranking is I'm fine with the LA in top 5 as they were. I think
LA Valiant. Let's be clear.
Yeah, I think somebody had the Valiant. It might have been Wyatt. It might have been Christian. Had them at 4 to start. When we did this in the preseason.
Might have been me.
Could have been.
Who knows? Who cares? Moving on.
But the only issue that I have is that the Excelsior did nothing to go beneath them. I do not think that their win, and obviously I feel this way because I have them much, much lower. I think I had them at like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Their win over the Fuel should not have been enough to carry them over the Excelsior. Like, the Excelsior completely dismantled Philadelphia.
To be fair, I think New York never... Remember how... This is something I think we talked about earlier.
We did.
But my biggest problem with Excelsior is that they don't know how to win games if they don't just find picks, if they don't just brute force other teams out.
Sure.
They still haven't shown that they fixed that issue.
I disagree with that. I think in their last match on Nimbani, they were definitely showing an understanding of Houston Outlaws enough to make changes in their own
That was
favor.
Houston without Linkser. Does that count?
Yes, but it shows that they're capable of reacting rather than just randomly running in and getting a pick. So I
Hey
think
guys,
it's
Clockwork
there. I
tried
don't
to
know.
fight me. I just killed him 1v1. Like, how much is like strategy and how much is that just like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think the Excelsior did enough to be beneath the Valiant. Like, they beat up Boston. They beat up... Who did they beat up? They beat Boston and Houston.
Houston, yeah.
And, like, they didn't do anything to deserve dropping beneath the Valiant when all the Valiant did was, like, they beat the Fuel in what looks, or rather, what was a lot closer than it looks from the final score sheet.
Sloppy Overwatch.
And then, of course,
Overwatch,
they destroyed San Francisco.
Liam, you were saying something about the. You're saying something. Liam, you think New York has fixed their problems?
I'm not going that far. I think
Okay.
they're showing an understanding of what their problem is, and I'm excited to see where they place against the Valiant to see how much they've actually used that, because I feel like that'll be their determining factor is, are they reliant on that pick, or have they developed actual strategies to win the game?
Here's the thing. Do you think Valiant have like the gas in the tank to actually fight the New York Excelsior? Because we know Dallas does on a good day, but Dallas haven't had any good days recently. But like, does beating up a weak Dallas necessarily mean you're a top tier team?
No.
Because in terms of like the top tier teams, Dallas is easily the most volatile, but they are still top tier,
Sure.
undoubtedly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, and I think we
Just throwing it out there.
I think we said in the preseason that if there was gonna be a team that might take some knocks along the way, it was probably gonna be Dallas. That Dallas was gonna be the big team who, they dropped a game to this team. That's huge for that team.
Yeah, exactly.
I think everything else about our rankings is absolutely perfect, and I think it's because we do it with 4 people instead of 1. Looking at you, ESPN, with Boston at number 5.
I mean, okay, now that you brought it up, we might as well touch on this before.
I can't believe we're doing a segment on this.
No, we're doing a segment on this, and I can't fucking stand it. Like, they have Boston at number 5. They have Boston above Dallas.
Yeah,
This
so
person has likely never watched Overwatch. What is going
haven't
on?
Looked at it. ESPN and Esports, they did their version power rankings, which started off very well. They were identical to ours: Soul, Spitfire, Valiant, and then Excelsior. And then from there on, it just kind of got very muddled. They have Boston at 5, the Fuel at 6, which Boston above the Fuel. Like, I realize the Fuel lost, but I feel like putting them at 6 below
Dallas is still fundamentally a better team.
like that's being too results oriented when it's like, just because they lost, yes. And did they get 3-0'd against the Valiant? Yeah, but were all of those games really fucking close? Yes. Like, all of those games could have went either way. Like, the Valiant could have easily lost.
Dallas clearly slumping right now?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like,
okay, think about this. Somebody had to. Oh gosh, there goes.
Noah.
We found Noah. Okay.
Sorry about that. My Discord decided to restart.
he was so tilted about me. I can't take it anymore.
So they
Oh my
have
God.
Boston at number 5. Boston beat Florida Mayhem 4-0. Arguably one of the worst teams in Overwatch League right now. And aren't they like the only team that they just have 6 players? Like, that's it.
Yeah.
They have no
Yeah.
subs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're basically like, yeah, we're gonna live and die by this team. Nobody's getting subbed out. Like,
They have Gladiators above Philly. Like,
Yeah, like they have Gladiators
Bruh.
at 7, Philly at 8, like the Outlaws at 10.
they took
I mean,
I agree with
Boston
Outlaws
took a moral
like,
victory.
Actually, no. Outlaws are at number 9.
Yeah, like I said, I was like, I can't see the Outlaws being below the Shock, because the Shock just looked. The Outlaws at least
ESPN has
had-
Outlaws at 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
They have Outlaws
and
at
they're-
10.
The Shock is
beat
not
San
better than
Francisco.
the Shock are ass. Hello? I'll say it. Like,
As somebody who
Shock
was
are
joking
hot
last
garbage.
week about what happens if Baby Bay just pops off throughout the whole season, like, that's not real. Like, if you were
we made
watching
the
our
argument,
show,
and I was like, no!
if you were
Stop
watching
these lies!
if you were watching our show and you thought I was serious about San Francisco popping off and Baby Bay becoming the LeBron James of Overwatch League, stop watching this show.
I got
Don't watch it.
legitimately so triggered at that. Like,
No, that was the most true. I've never seen Noah get that triggered except for when I bring up H2K going to the semifinals of Worlds 2016.
Why would you? Damn it! Bracket.
And so like
You're trying my patience, Wyatt. Fuck
I
you.
gotta do it every couple episodes. We haven't done League in a while.
We did it today. Why didn't you? Why?
I had to wait until you were in your comfort zone of Overwatch to just bring you right back into League.
you gotta do it. You gotta do it on like a League sign off.
No, see, that was the thing. Look, literally, if we didn't mention it, I'd be like, all right, where can they find you on Twitter? And they'd be like, you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Don, where we will discuss stuff such as, did you know H2K we're top 4, and I would just be like, yeah, I just see red. Like,
That's fun. Yeah.
They also these are power rankings. Like ESPN knows what power rankings are. Power rankings go week to week, like we just discussed a few minutes ago. In the description for the Houston Outlaws of why they dropped 4 spots, it's because, well, they lost all their preseason games too, and it's like, yeah, but that's preseason. Like, don't tell me they're like the 10th team in the league because they lost preseason games along with dropping.
And not to mention, they said it got out muscled by the Excelsior. The Excelsior are a top 4 team.
Exactly.
They should get out muscled by that team. Like there are very few teams that aren't going to get out muscled by the Excelsior at this point in time.
why? Like, what does he see in the Shock that makes them better than what he sees in the Outlaws?
Is he from San Francisco?
Sean?
No, he's LA. LA for life.
He's LA for life. Are
Yeah,
you
he's
sure he's
SoCal.
not? Are you sure he's not a turncoat?
I don't
Is he
give a
gay
shit.
for Baby Bay?
Sure, why not?
The Shock just doesn't do much more than shoot people.
The Shock don't do shit. Like, they're boring to watch. They
Yeah,
either
the
get
Shock,
old
like, they just
or
don't,
like they pog, and like
Mm.
pogging is not a win condition.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
you-
my
and
book
you
will be
can't-
called.
Like because you beat the Dragons, like that can't be your metric
No.
for success.
No, it can't.
Like
They fucking went 3-1.
it was 3-1.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They dropped
It's
the
like
map to stay high. Like, yo,
yeah. So yeah, they're and it wasn't even Junkertown they lost. They lost Horizon, like
which is also kind of garbage. But like,
yeah,
whatever.
which
The
is probably
only-
the second
okay, so-
most volatile.
Reading the description is he's given the San Francisco Shock the number 9 spot because unlike any of the teams beneath it, they have 1 win over the Dragons. And I don't think that's a
it's
reason.
a garbage time win. They're not gonna get any more. Like, bruh.
I mean,
Yeah, like,
that
you
would
can't-
be like the AP poll coming out and being like, okay, guys, well, Marshall is 1-0, and Alabama lost their season opener, so Marshall number 1. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Alabama losing their season opener isn't happening. Get real.
For real.
So
I think-
it'll be very interesting to kind of see where these rankings go over the season. But definitely, if you guys want some
Hey, ESPN, call
Good.
us. We
Good
watch,
rankings.
we watch every game.
definitely
Yeah.
let
We
us
care
watch
about
every
Overwatch full time.
We had 6 people. We had 6 people for these rankings, and we took them and averaged all of them out. So that's why, you actually there was a lot of close matchups. Like, I mean, we had some rankings there that were pretty close. So like,
Contentious.
yeah, very contentious. So I mean, definitely, eGamerNews is the spot for Overwatch power rankings by far.
The place to be.
But with that in mind, I guess it's time to look at week 2
Oh boy.
and go through our predictions here and see
Hell yeah.
what we've got going into the second week.
One thing real quick I wanted to say. I think the
Yeah, go for
most telling matches of week 1 were Florida Mayhem and Boston Uprising and Seoul Dynasty and Gladiators.
Yes.
Personally, I was really happy to see the Boston destroy Florida because if they didn't, that would have been a very sad day.
Mhm.
And I think the Gladiators put an unexpected fight against Seoul Dynasty.
Yes.
At least I wasn't.
Yeah, I agree. Even though it was a 4-0, they were really contending for a couple of those maps. Like, I think towards the end of the series, it looked like Gladiator just ran out of gas, but
Yeah.
early on, like, they were playing them really close. Like, I think they almost took, was it Junker? They played Junkertown, right?
Yeah, they play J-Town.
Yeah, like they almost took Junkertown and Horizon, which, like we
I
said,
hate our
those are-
match flow right now. It's so like where is Volskaya? I want Volskaya. I want Volskaya and Hanamura. Though that's where like real teams are like that's the fire right there.
As much as I hate playing on Hanamura, it's so like the USA South Korea
That was
match
lit,
on Hanamura. That was like one of the best.
Wait, forget all that. Where's Kings? Where's Kings Row? That's easily the best map in the game.
That's It's very it's weird. There's like a lot of maps.
What are the good payload maps?
Yeah.
Like
Do
where's
they do
Dorado? I love Dorado.
Because they don't do bans. So I wonder how they choose.
It's just like two buckets.
Each stage.
Yeah.
Is different.
Oh really?
They,
Okay.
Yeah, they choose buckets by stage.
Okay.
Hey, that
That's
means next stage, which begins like late
Volskaya
February,
and
will be
Nepal.
like yeah.
Season 6, yeah.
Ugh, I can't believe we haven't seen a Nepal game yet. Paul's so.
Oh, yeah, we got Hollywood.
Dude, back in the Apex days, you literally only saw Nepal.
Wait.
And then Lee Zhang and Tiebreaker.
Oh,
Because it was like, hey, do you want to go to Ilios? And both teams were like, fuck that. Oh, man. This is before Oasis. At least back in the day. And then when Oasis came out, like, people would play Oasis. And it was like, okay, Nepal time. We're going back to it. But yeah, let's go over these.
All right, so yeah, let's Travis, are you ready as our official? note taker?
I'm
For the
throwing
rankings?
these up in a document this time so that we can
Oh my
actually like
God.
start to keep track of
Oh my god!
things throughout the season.
We're gonna be
How
official this
fancy.
time.
How fancy. I better not be Noah. I better be Lord Noah in the document.
You're only Lord Noah for this week, so I mean you can't.
He can change. He can change it when he's done. Okay.
All right, let's see.
I gotta put him in his place.
But I think while Travis is putting those in, I think Noah, what do you think's the biggest matchup this week? Like, what match are you looking forward to the most?
Dalvey London.
Dalvey London's gonna be big, but I don't know if Dallas is.
I want Dallas redemption.
I think New York Excelsior versus Valiant because that's gonna just like that. Like right now, the NYXL versus LAV is to determine who is actually top tier, right?
Yeah.
It's LA's first real test,
Mm-hmm.
barring something Dallas, and it's also New York's first real test in a way because they've just been able to shit on two teams who are like bottom 10 or like bottom of the league right now.
Yo, who else did power rankings with us? It was Christian, Liam, and then who besides the three of us?
Steven.
Steven, yeah.
We'll just throw Steven in here. We'll get his picks for week 2, and
I mean, he didn't do picks. He just did power rankings.
well, Liam didn't do picks either.
Nope.
Ah, well, who cares? All right.
I was gonna say we can
That's
start.
fine. Yeah, we can just we'll start.
We'll start
All right,
as
let's get going. Let's
And
rock.
we can have win percentages as well, so that way it's not just straight up,
Yeah.
straight up numbers. But
Okay,
okay,
we'll
so
never come back to the podcast and he'll have like an 80% win rate. Easy
we're
peasy.
gonna get them offline. So that way everybody.
Yeah.
But okay, so today's matchup, we're starting off with the San Francisco Shock
Holy shit.
versus the Philadelphia Fusion.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Wait, are you from here? Hello.
I don't know what happened there. This if Philadelphia loses this, I'd be very surprised.
Yup.
yes.
We just
Okay,
hit
cool.
one.
Glad we all agree.
We're all in
It was
Correct.
really interesting.
And then I don't even think we need to talk about Seoul versus Florida. It'd be a cold day in hell.
Dude, if Florida
Dynasty
wins,
was-
I will buy all of their jerseys. All
Right.
all 6 of them.
Seriously, because there's only 6. I mean, yeah, if they take a map, I would be surprised to be completely
Yeah.
That's still $400.
I
That's
can see
$420, Travis.
Do what?
Jeez.
That's $420 for all 6 jerseys. Because they're like
Hashtag
$7 a piece, right?
Hashtag 420 blaze it.
Hey. And then
Okay.
Houston, Shanghai.
Houston's
Houston.
good with
Houston, because they're not Shanghai.
Yeah.
that. I feel so bad for Shanghai.
What if
Yeah.
Shanghai wins? How demoralizing would that be?
Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh,
Might
yeah.
be a heavy hand.
We'd have to admit that ESPN was right about something.
No, you wouldn't, because everybody has Shanghai dead last. No, if that happens, then like Linkser should go up to the front office and be like, trade my ass. You deserve hashtag free Linkser. That's gonna be the new hashtag.
But okay, so that's I think today's gonna be a pretty nothing much.
Why isn't Mendo playing? It's like, oh, I fucking wonder. Like,
But the next 3 days is where we're gonna have some some pretty good matchups. So Thursday, starting off the day, is Dallas versus Houston.
ooh.
So is Dallas gonna make the bounce back, or is
Yes.
Houston going to show that they can hang with the big boys?
Dallas is going to make a bounce back because as much potential as Houston has, and as much of a slump as Dallas kind of went into there, I really don't think that they're going to spend the 5 to 7 days after a humiliating loss to the Valiant just dicking around. I think they, especially after what XQC said on stream, like they got to work, and I think they're gonna come out. I think they're gonna stomp Houston, and I think they're gonna be ready for London.
I agree with that. I think their week 1 was a pretty big wake up call for them. They underperformed heavily, and I don't think they're gonna let that happen 2 weeks in a row. So, we'll see about the London matchup, but for this one, at least they're gonna come out swinging, and they'll definitely pick up the win, I think.
Lord knows, looks like he's sitting on some hot takes down there.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, they're not that hot. They're like good. They're good takes.
They're good takes.
I think even if Dallas is still in their slump, I think they're a better team than Houston.
Yeah.
I like the support core of Dallas when they're slumping more than I like Houston. I don't like the tank core necessarily more than I like Houston's tank core. But like Houston doesn't have an answer to Tracer or a Tracer. And it's like, hey, Effect, best Tracer on Earth. Do you want to play this team who can't effectively deal with Tracers? And he's like, oh yeah. So even if Dallas continues to slump, I think they are the better team than Houston. And like everybody else said, I don't think they'll be slumping after last week's performances. So yeah.
You're in agreement with that as well, Liam?
Yeah, I think it'll be a close match, but I don't see why Dallas shouldn't win.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I don't know how close it will be, but like
yeah,
if it is
I think
close,
it'll
then,
be
like,
a 3. I think probably 3-1 is what I'll be willing to give.
what are they playing? Are they playing J-Town? Or not J-Town, Horizon?
Probably.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah,
Yes,
they've got Junkertown, Horizon, Oasis.
If they're playing Horizon, then I think that's the map that Houston wins. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Because their fourth map is Eichenwald.
Yeah.
So like
Okay, well, we're all in agreement that Dallas picks up the win here. Now, the next match, the New York Excelsior versus the Los Angeles Valiant.
Oh Jesus Christ! Here we go. Here's the one. This is my pick for the game of the week right here.
This one,
Not Valiant London. You don't think that's the game of the week?
That's the one that I think is the game of the week.
I think they match up so much better.
Get on them. Okay, no, it's not. You're wrong. But like, whatever. Let's get there. Let's just get there first.
I think the Valiant are going to win a close for this one. I think they can beat the Excelsior.
Boy.
I think the Excelsior is going to stomp all over the Valiant. I think that this is going to look kind of similar to... Actually, no. I don't think it's going to look similar to Valiant v Fuel because the first 2 matches were within 1 point.
Yeah, they were.
I think those 2 matches were also fucking stupid. Like, let's not forget. Like, an 8-7 score isn't normal. It's not good. Neither team looks good in an 8-7 win. Like, good, you got the win, but like,
I think Valiant is going to come into this game. I think take for the week. I think Valiant goes 0-2. I think they come into this week thinking they're hot shit for beating Dallas, and I think Korea takes them down a peg.
I can see that.
I agree. I think New York. If my theory that New York hasn't patched their problems in terms of like how they play games and they just out mechanic, they brute force teams to death, Valiant will present a struggle for them. However, I also don't think that the Valiant necessarily have the tools yet, nor the communication necessary to take down a team like New York Excelsior. I think Soon has to play out of his mind, and I don't know how out of your mind you can necessarily play when you have Saviolbi keeping you in check. Because Saviolbi tends to make people bad just by like his presence of being a good anti-tracer tracer. And realistically, once Pine once Pine comes into the series, it's like they're gonna get popped. And so I don't know. Maybe he just shows up on a control map again. But like when Pine comes in, there's gonna be a turning point. And then after that, Valiant I think will be broken. I'm expecting an Excelsior win if there wasn't clear.
Mm-hmm. I also expect Excelsior to just be able to, at certain points, push through the Valiant when they try to come at them.
But I did this one right. I'm going to look back at this.
Is that a win?
All of you. But okay, so and then closing out Thursday's lineup, we've got the Fusion versus the Gladiators.
This is a much more interesting match than I think.
Yeah, I think like low-key, this is a pretty interesting match because these teams are pretty evenly matched. I think.
I think the Fusion will come out on top, but
yeah, I think the Fusion will win, just because the Gladiators like
maybe,
hopefully,
maybe. I'm not sold yet. I don't want to call it either way.
See, that's how I feel. Because on one hand, like, it's hard to judge the Gladiators for what they've done so far because they've played China and Korea, right? That was
right.
And while they played really well against the Dynasty, and it seems that they have trouble with really aggressive like DPS players.
Carpe and Shadowburn,
right. But it's also I'm trying to think to myself, well, that's also like they were playing against Fleta was doing like the majority of the havoc wreaking on them. So is it really?
Fleta beats everybody on Earth. Like that's not even
sure,
fair.
but it's kind of
that's
like are they gonna have that much trouble with Carpe and Shadowburn? Like
maybe
now there's two like. Yes, they're both great, and like Fleta's definitely better, but now there's two of them.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I think I'm expecting Philly to win, but not necessarily just because of their DPS duo, right? And I will say this right now: Carpe and Shadowburn are amazing, but I think the tanks on Philly are, are better right now, at least from what I saw, than the tanks on the Los Angeles Gladiators side, right? And because Poco's ability to get consistent kills from D.Va ult is fucking nuts. Yeah. That just shouldn't happen. It doesn't happen, and he does it. He initiates with his ability, and it's like, whoa, okay, they started 6v4, like cool. And then I think both these teams are very evenly matched in the support role, and when Los Angeles Gladiators win big, if you remember, Shaz popped off. Right? It wasn't necessarily like Asher. Asher did his job. Hydration did his job. Surefour did his job. Shaz went nuts. Shaz doesn't go nuts against Boombox. I think Boombox will be able to keep him in check somewhat. Sure. And I think Poco will be able to keep him in check somewhat. And given that Philly's strengths lead to dive, and right now LA Gladiators' weaknesses are in teams that can dive them aggressively and cohesively, I'm expecting Philly to win this one. But because they have communication issues at the time, I don't think it will be clean. I think they're definitely going to drop a map or two. LA will pick up some maps, but they won't walk away with the series win.
I mean, one of the reservations I have about the Gladiators right now, and it showed against Seoul, is that they're trying so hard to get used to swapping in and out players. And they played Seoul so close on Junkertown. And then all of a sudden they swapped out, I think it was Asher for Surefour for Lunar Colony, and holy shit, did they look awful. Like, it was like day and night awful. Like, I don't know if it was like he hadn't warmed up because he was being retarded or something, but Surefour came in there and basically sat in a corner with his thumb up his ass. Like,
I think it's just the way Seoul plays is so oppressive, and everybody's a threat. Right?
Yeah. Sure.
Especially on Lunar Colony. Like, when you have Jaehong on the Moira, like, Moira will come assassinate your ass.
Yes.
Like, DPS doesn't get to play comfortably when you were playing against Ryu Jaehong. Ryu will find you and 1v1 you and kill you, and then he'll teabag your corpse while he heals his team. And then you'll be like, oh, well, that's embarrassing. And, like, I support 1v1s me consistently for, like, 3 pushes in a row. So I don't want to blame Surefour. Let's just say like
I'm not blaming him. I'm saying
Soul is a different beast from everybody. I don't think it's necessarily safe to say. I don't think it's fair to say that any team that loses to Seoul, like those problems are mainstay problems.
Sure. Which is why
without
I
other
prefaced it.
evidence. Yeah. Just wanted to clarify for our viewing audience.
Yeah, definitely why I prefaced it's hard to say because all they've done is play the best team in the league and the worst team in the league.
And now they're playing, and now they're gonna play against the team that lost to like the third or fourth best team in the league, but beat like the 10th best team, which also doesn't help.
So
But,
are we Philly across the board here?
I'm Philly.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm glad we all agree, so we can all get this one wrong.
So next one we're just gonna skip because Seoul's gonna win. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
Seoul's gonna
Hold
win.
on. Who are they playing?
Boston.
There's a chance.
Oh my god.
Noah.
Anyways,
Lord
moving on to
Noah,
the-
you
Well,
said-
I'm kidding. I'm
Moving on to the
Who are you
Dragons
talking to? Who are you talking to, Travis?
versus
I
the
said
Mayhem.
Lord.
Thank you. I just wanted to...
And
I'm interested in this one. If Shanghai
This
can
is
score,
like
wins
the-
in Florida.
I'm so
God.
excited for this game. You have no idea.
this is like the bottom of the barrel. Watching like
These are literally the two worst teams from week
Yeah.
one.
They should
like,
get like the
watching,
voiceover guy.
two
They should get the
midgets
voiceover
fight in
guy.
a corner.
Shanghai, Florida. Somebody must win.
I mean, yeah, like
What
somebody
if they
like,
draw somehow? I know it's
if
physically
they draw
impossible,
every single match.
Because like, what if they draw? No, it would have to be like draw. Because somebody has to win a Koth map. Somebody has to win a King of the Hill map. It's impossible to draw a King of the Hill.
Draw, win.
So
draw,
somebody's gonna win a
Yeah,
game
and then somebody
1-0.
wins.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
God.
series will be 1-0.
Jesus.
That would be lit. Oh my lord, it won't happen though. Shanghai's gonna get fucking stomped. Florida is a
Yeah,
I
dominant
think
team. Florida's not
Yeah,
OWL, but they're competent. I can't say
Correct.
that about Shanghai right now.
yeah.
I feel
Shanghai
bad,
just
but like,
looks. Yeah,
I have
Oh,
Florida
man.
in there. I mean, we thought Florida was a good team at the beginning, and we said one of their problems is going to be they have literally nobody to swap with. So that if the
Yeah.
other team is like, we're going to make some change-ups just to, fuck your lineup right up, Florida's like, well, you do that because we can't do anything
we-
about it.
we have
Florida
we have no way of stopping you.
Florida can't counter strat anything, and none of their supports want to play Mercy, and they have to play Mercy. So like that's kind of a problem.
I'm gonna say Shanghai just because I want to believe Shanghai. Right now.
Dude, you're a bigger China fanboy than I am. I respect that.
Believe.
I think you're nuts. I think Florida's gonna give him the Dickens, but like, hey, power for you.
Florida, you just need some warm bodies. I think we're all capable of just sitting there at the computer.
I mean, yeah. Like I feel like we.
Who's their Diva player? Who's their Diva player? Even? Who?
For
Who's-
Shanghai or Florida?
Yeah, for Shanghai.
I can't remember his name.
A great
Yeah, I
question.
can't even remember all their starters. It's just like they don't provide it. Like, who do you remember? Okay, quick mini game, sidebar
Okay.
mini game. How many members of the starting roster from Shanghai do you know off the top of your head?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But now that I look at their roster,
Undead, Dia.
Jushu-
Oh yeah, undead. Okay.
Jushu is their
Free
is their
Feel.
diva.
I know 4. I know Free Feel, Roshan, Undead, Dia.
Okay, I mean that's almost half.
I don't know which of the other supports also starts.
Five.
Is it 5?
So undead is a starter?
Yes.
Yeah.
That-
Well,
He's been the best player on their team.
I was gonna say
recently.
that's the only player I know on Shanghai.
He's called Undead because he was a Reaper one trick, and then it was like, let's watch this guy's Reaper, and he got like shit on by like.
Also, speaking of Dia, somebody in the comments on that Reddit post for our rankings, whoever did the blurb for the Dragons that mentioned Undead, somebody was like, "Oh, how come you didn't mention Dia? Dia was like way better."
Dia was
blah,
good in
blah,
preseason.
blah."
Liam did the
Didn't do
notes
anything.
for Shanghai.
Was it
He
Leo?
didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
No, Dia didn't. I don't blame. I agree with Liam here. Dia didn't do shit.
No, yeah. I mean, Undead is the,
You know why?
If,
You know it's a.
if they're gonna win, Undead
Why
is
does
gonna be the
Shanghai
winner.
have 2 McCree players as their starting DPS core? Neither of them know how to play Tracer. Neither of them can play projectile well. Like, what the fuck, guys?
Even I can sort of play Tracer, kind of sometimes when I'm not.
Uh-huh.
careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. And then closing out Friday, we've got the London Spitfire versus the Dallas Fuel. I think both of London's matchups this week are ones that I'm very interested in watching.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think
Spitfire doesn't win. They don't deserve. with
Yeah.
Dallas's current shape.
Agreed.
I
But
think
also
London.
because of Dallas's current shape and also because it's London, I think they will win.
You think that London will win or Dallas will win?
I think London is Seoul but slightly worse. Seoul but slightly worse is really good.
Yeah, I think London will take. I think Dallas might put up a fight. I might.
Yeah,
they might play.
Dallas
play
plays to the level of their opponents.
Yeah, so I think we could see another 3-2.
Nah,
but London
3-1 if any, 3-1 if not a 4-0.
You think
Dallas isn't ready?
3-1 London? I think Dallas is ready. I think Dallas is going to. I honestly think Dallas is coming into.
Do we have another?
Yeah, I'll
London.
Do we have another Lord bet on our hands here?
Yeah, sure. I'll rep for Dallas again,
dude. All right.
How about let's double down on this shit. Since I'm also going London, let's do a double Lord bet. And Liam, if you want to also go London, Travis will have to
everybody the action. Let's go.
If Liam's on.
Wait, this can be you. This can be you and Travis's thing. I don't want to make the poor man call me Lord for too long.
I'll definitely take. I'll take that though. I'll take the London.
That's a weak Lord bet between Wyatt and Travis.
Sure,
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Wow. All right.
You have much confidence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with my team whether they win or lose, and it's coming up to a crucial match where it's they lost against the best team in the league.
It's week 2. What do you mean crucial? Who gives a fuck?
I mean, yeah, it's week 2, but I mean,
still a big matchup though.
Yeah.
Okay, so NVUS is definitely one of those teams or one of those orgs that is kind of like Optic. They're built on success, and people know them for that.
They're built on legacy.
This team is not coming into this week planning on losing to anybody, and I think that especially after going 0-2 last week, they're we're going 2-0 this week. I think they're putting in hard for this week. I really do, because I think they want to come out and make a statement early. Because if they go 0-2 this week, or if they even go 1-1 this week, I think that puts them in a whole new light on. Well, geez, is Dallas really a top 5 team? Yeah, we said they'd drop a couple, but are they really a top 5 team after this?
You know what the problem is? They haven't played anybody who's below bottom 5 until they play Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to run through teams later in the schedule. Look at the teams they haven't played against yet. They haven't played against anybody in bottom 4. They haven't played against Philly.
Sure, but here's the thing: if you're
against LAG,
if you're a top 5, Boston. There's a difference between being top 5 record and a top 5 team. If you're a top 5 team, you should compete with the teams in the top 5. You should be on their level.
They do. I just think people are overreacting to their poor start, and it's they have had the toughest opening schedule out of any team in the OWL so far.
Sure.
So people who are shitting on Dallas now, wait until they're playing against the mid-tier teams, and it's oh, this isn't close, and Dallas doesn't belong here. Then I think things will be falling more into place, and it will help too, because by that point Dallas should be peaking in terms of their internal roster performance, and then they'll be coming into playoffs, and maybe Apex Season 1 just go from the 8 seed to champions. Maybe that's a dream. Could happen.
All right,
cool.
Next week.
I bring up Apex Season 1 and I just get blank stares. I hate you all.
And then for our final day, we've got a big matchup opening Saturday. Valiant versus
matchup. It's gonna be a big feed.
Spitfire.
It's gonna be a big feed, Wyatt. London are gonna eat that ass.
I mean, I agree. I think London is gonna win.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I was okay with going with Valiant over the Excelsior because I think Excelsior aren't as good as the Spitfire, but I'm not delusional, so I'm not going to try to say that they're going to. If they beat the Spitfire, I will be happy as shit, but I just don't think.
I'm going to use this moment to throw at least a little bit of shade. So, I think the reason that I'm a London doubter is because they're owned by Cloud9. And, as a Dota guy, you have to understand that. And maybe it's possible that they're like this in League. I'm not sure. I heard some things this year surrounding Worlds about. I think it was Cloud9, was it, or was it Fnatic? Either way, Cloud9 has always been a team that most people are like, yeah, they're top tier, and then they go and whiff on something really hard to the point where it's embarrassing. And like, again, I bring up that London already, even as like someone that no matter what happens at the end of this week, I would still consider London a top 5 team, is that they were used as the textbook example of this is how you don't defend Junkertown. And like,
Yikes.
I genuinely believe at some point this season, some team is going to come up aces against London, and it's going to be embarrassing.
I see what you did there.
London is Kangju Busan, right?
Yeah.
It's
And
Kangju.
Valiant is Immortals.
Yep. Immortals plus Unkosun.
So I don't know why Kangju or Busan would lose to Immortals, but that's just me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I agree.
Both of those are really good teams, and then you mix the rosters together. Like Burgering plus Profit is like, that's nuts. It's fucking nuts. It's so good. The roster's so goddamn good. Rascal hasn't even played, and Rascal's nutty too. Like, it's not close. It's not
I'm
close.
going for Spitfire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spitfire.
Spitfire.
I mean, I still have London down. I think they're going to beat Valiant, but I really do think that because I'm saying like I'm not okay. So the thing between about Cloud9 is that like you either love Jack or you hate Jack.
Why are we talking about Cloud9? This is
That's who they're owned by. Like that.
Yeah, but who gives a shit?
The org has some influence on how a team performs. Like you can't tell me that if like I can't even think of an excellent comparison right now. Like,
but I mean, I feel because like this is like they're owned by Cloud9, but like you said,
okay,
like, this
okay, I got it. You can't tell me that if you took the Cleveland Browns roster and just dropped them in the lap of Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, that they wouldn't start winning games.
Wait. Are you calling GC Busan and or Kongdu Pantera the Cleveland Browns?
I am not. I'm saying that I'm showing
Those are respectively
whatever
the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. Like,
but I think by the same accord, I don't know if you bring like the I don't know like the like
I don't
last
like
year's
this analogy at all.
like if you bring last year's Patriots team that came back and won the Super Bowl in ridiculous fashion, whatever, and if you put that team under the Browns, I don't necessarily think that Tom Brady's just going to forget how to play.
But they brought a lot of. They don't have all.
No,
the
I'm
coaching
okay.
staff,
So
but,
I'm not saying that you
I
can
have
take.
no idea. I don't get
Okay.
it.
But my analogy is meant to show that it's like it's the org's job to get the best out of a team's talent. Like it's their job to help bring it out. And so
you don't
like
think that's gonna happen?
Cleveland with a culture of losing, if you took that losing roster and put it with a winning organization, you can probably get more talent out of it than you can in Cleveland. And so what I'm saying is that
Cloud9 are losers.
yeah.
All right, I just have to clarify what you're trying to say.
And so I'm saying
here.
that it's not necessarily right now. Like not right now is London going to start to experience what I'm going to start calling the Cloud9 effect. But eventually, I think that you're going to see a degradation of performance from these talented players because of the organization that they're in.
Maybe.
And I'm not saying it's huge to the point where it's like, Jesus, nobody signed with Cloud9. They don't know how to run things. But it's just like, it's a pattern I've seen with a lot of their teams across most of their esports. And
That's true. That's true.
Something like they're the common denominator between these teams of people from all across the globe.
But like, they also have, none of the other teams are run by Koreans or have Korean coaching staffs.
That's true.
Except League of Legends, but like,
Sure.
that's also like 90% memes now, and the League of Legends side has their own issues. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think London's going to be one of the strongest teams throughout. I don't think they're going to necessarily degrade. If anything, they're only going to improve. From my point of view. We got one more, Matt. We got
two more.
Two more.
I think
We got three. I want to end this show before Overwatch League goes live.
Yeah. All right. So New York Excelsior all the way across, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Uprising all the way across.
He says.
Saying gladiators?
I think Gladiators,
them.
I think Gladiators will win one map because Hydration will play Doomfist, and New York will have no idea how to counter it. And then the next week, Libero will start playing Doomfist, and then he will become the best Doomfist in the league. That's my like super advanced prediction. That will not happen. I already feel like I'm wrong, but I just said it. So we're moving on.
But yeah, Excelsior
New York.
and then Boston for me.
Yeah. If Boston can't beat, if Boston will beat the Shock.
Yeah. If they can't beat the Shock, it shows that, you know, maybe they're a more volatile team than we thought. But 2, it shows that wow, how bad were ESPN's power rankings?
It all comes full circle.
It all goes exactly. So, but yeah, that's gonna be around the hoop.
Did we disagree on anything? Holy shit!
I think I am the only one as a contrarian here. I am a contrarian, and so is Wyatt. Wyatt picked the Valiant over the Excelsior.
Shanghai's gonna be 4.
And I picked.
I'm gonna go perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It feels good.
I picked Dallas over London.
Over London.
I think that is
people
the
are
only
nuts. You people are insane.
What do you mean, you people?
I mean everybody but me, Wyatt.
We still have yet to get Christian and Steven though, so
that's true. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Overwatch League starts in like 1 minute, so definitely it's gonna be there. But you guys are doing Dota today, right?
Yes, we are doing Dota next.
Yeah, so stick around. We will have Safe Lane with Travis.
Wait, are we not doing our sign off?
I'm just telling you the next people. You can do your sign off.
All right.
Calm down. Calm down. I'm just
that's not how I like.
Oh my god. Well, you know what? You're not the host, man.
Something H2K.
Anyway. Anyways, yeah, we'll go ahead and sign off. If you guys want to talk to me on Twitter, I'm at Mr. Don. You can talk about Overwatch, League of Legends, whatever you want to talk about. I'll be there. Go ahead, Noah, since you're chomping at the bit. Go ahead and do your sign off.
I'm not doing my sign off. Liam, do your sign off. Liam, do your sign off.
I'm Liam Crafty. You can follow me on Twitter at Liam Crafty. CRAFFEY. Yeah.
He was the last minute addition, so I apologize for not having a little Twitter handle for him above his face.
Feels bad, man.
If you want to follow me and talk to me about Overwatch League, you can follow me at Ruffy Dota. I will also be on the next show talking about Dota, so if you're interested in that, don't go anywhere.
I'm at RW_Noah Waltzer. Don't talk to me for like an hour. I'm triggered. I'm kidding. Talk to me about whatever you want. Thank you all for joining us.
And that's going to do it for Around the Hoop. I'll see you guys next week.